The moment you walked through that door, everything shifted. I couldn't breathe, my heart raced, and I knew something unforgettable was about to happen. You came in like a storm, your presence electrifying the room, and I couldn't look away. But why does it feel like the world just froze when you smiled? I thought I knew what to expect, but what you wore left me speechless, frozen in a way I never thought I'd be. In that split second, as I saw you step forward, everything else disappeared. All I could think was, what are you doing to me? The air grew heavy and my pulse quickened as you walked in. I never imagined how one look, one outfit, could change everything between us. What was it about the way you looked? I wasn't ready for it, and I swear my heart skipped a beat. I wasn't prepared for how much it would hurt, in a good way. I had no clue what was coming, but when you stepped into the room wearing that, my entire world flipped upside down. Your eyes met mine, and time seemed to slow. How could something so simple, so unexpected, make me feel so much in that one glance? I thought I had control, but when you walked in, all the walls I built crumbled, and I felt completely exposed, vulnerable, in a way I never imagined. There was something in the way you moved, the way you looked at me. It was impossible to ignore, and I didn't want to. The second you walked in, I felt a pull I couldn't explain. Was it the way you looked, or was it something deeper, something I didn't want to admit? You entered with a quiet confidence, and I couldn't help but wonder, was this always your plan? To have me hanging on every word? Your arrival felt like an earthquake. Nothing about this moment would ever be the same again. I didn't expect you to make me feel like this. You caught me off guard. I thought I was prepared, but how could I be when you made me feel something that intense just by being you? The way you walked in, effortless, stunning, like you knew you had me wrapped around your finger. I didn't stand a chance. I wasn't ready for the rush of emotions you brought with you. Every glance, every move made my heart race, and I couldn't do a thing to stop it. I thought I knew what to expect, but you changed everything. You made me question myself, and for the first time, I didn't mind. You had a way of making everything seem insignificant until you looked at me. Then, suddenly, I felt seen, understood, in a way I hadn't before. When you appeared, I was caught between wanting to run and wanting to stay, knowing full well that neither option would make this any easier. There's a dangerous beauty in the way you look at me. It makes me wonder, what are you really thinking? What's hidden beneath that gaze? It was just a moment, a flash of time, but when you walked in, I couldn't stop the overwhelming feeling that this was the beginning of something unforgettable. Your outfit was only the surface of it. What you made me feel in that 1 second was so much deeper than anything I could have prepared for. I thought I had it all figured out, but then you appeared out of nowhere like a dream, and suddenly everything changed in a way I can't even describe. You took me by surprise, not just by what you wore, but by how effortlessly you seemed to control every room you stepped into. And now I'm here, trying to keep up. There's something about the way you made me feel, like I was suspended in time, like I was no longer in control of anything. You didn't just show up, you changed the atmosphere, and now I can't help but wonder what's coming next. I wasn't ready for this. The tension in the room was palpable, and there you were, looking at me in a way that made it feel like the world was spinning just for us. Everything about that moment was unexpected. You didn't just walk in, you ignited something inside me I didn't know was even there. The way you walked in, I could feel the heat rise between us, and I couldn't tell if it was your presence or something more powerful pulling us together. You changed everything with one look, and suddenly all my thoughts and feelings were no longer under my control. They were all yours. Your arrival made everything else fade into the background. It was just us, and I couldn't even pretend to be unaffected. In that one moment, everything that mattered before became irrelevant. It was just you and me caught in this impossible pull. You knew exactly what you were doing when you walked in, didn't you? Making me feel things I didn't even know I was capable of. The world outside that room faded away as you walked toward me. Your presence commanded it, and I couldn't stop myself from falling deeper. I didn't expect it, this rush, this connection, that moment when you walked in, and suddenly nothing else seemed to matter anymore. There's something in the way you look at me that makes every doubt, every hesitation disappear. I can't tell if I'm falling deeper or just holding on for dear life. I thought I knew where this was going, but the second you stepped in, you changed the script. Now, all I can do is follow your lead. The intensity of that moment, the way you made me feel, the heat that radiated between us, it was impossible to ignore. Was this your plan all along? The feeling you gave me just by showing up, it was overwhelming. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, couldn't escape. You walked in, and everything I thought I knew about this night went out the window. It was like stepping into a whole new reality, one where only you and I existed. I didn't think I could be caught off guard, but the way you made me feel left me breathless. this wasn't what I was expecting at all. Every inch of you held my attention, and as you looked at me, I felt something I couldn't name but couldn't escape either. It's funny how one person can change everything in the blink of an eye. You walked in, and I couldn't ignore what was happening inside me. For a moment, I thought I'd lost control, and yet, in that same moment, I found something deeper, something I wasn't expecting from you. I couldn't look away. I didn't want to. There was something in the way you moved, the way you breathed, that made everything else irrelevant. Every second you spent near me, it felt like you were pulling me in deeper. I couldn't escape it, not that I wanted to. You made me question everything just by walking in the room, and I wasn't sure if it was the way you looked or something more powerful that made me lose control. You didn't just show up, you took command of every inch of space, leaving me with no choice but to feel everything I was trying to avoid. In that moment, everything felt right, and yet nothing felt certain. You held the power, and I was completely at your mercy. There was a quiet strength in the way you entered the room, and I couldn't help but wonder, what's your next move, and what's going to happen to me when you make it? You didn't just walk in, you entered my thoughts, my dreams. Everything I thought I knew about myself suddenly came into question. I had no idea what to expect when you arrived, but now that you're here, it feels like there's no turning back from this powerful attraction. The air was thick with tension, but it wasn't just the room, it was you. Your presence commanded everything, and I was helpless to resist. I thought I could handle anything, but then you walked in, and suddenly I wasn't sure who was in control anymore. You didn't have to say a word. Your presence alone spoke volumes. And in that silence, I felt everything. Every moment you were near me, I found myself drawn deeper into whatever spell you'd cast. Without even trying, how could something so simple feel so intense? When you stepped into my life, everything changed, and now I can't tell if I'm losing myself or finding something I never knew I needed. There's something undeniable about the way you look at me. It's like a silent promise, and I can't decide if it's a blessing or a curse. I thought I was ready for this moment, but then you showed up, and now I'm not sure where I end and where you begin. Every part of me knew I shouldn't feel this way, but there you were, making me feel everything I swore I wouldn't. And somehow, I couldn't stop it. You walked in, and it felt like the universe itself had shifted, realigning everything around you. I didn't know how to feel, but I couldn't ignore it. The second you locked eyes with me, I knew this wasn't just another moment. It was something that would change everything I thought I knew about myself. What is it about the way you move, the way you look at me, that makes me question every decision I've ever made? Why is everything so different now? I didn't expect to feel this way, this intense pull, this magnetic force that has me captivated, and the only thing I can do is surrender to it. You didn't even have to speak. With one glance, everything inside me went wild. What were you doing to me, and why couldn't I stop it? It's like you entered the room with the power to make me feel alive in ways I never thought possible. But I wasn't prepared for this, not by a long shot. In that one moment, as you looked at me, the world stopped. I felt a strange warmth wash over me, and it made me wonder, was this always your plan? I've never been this vulnerable, not like this. Every thought I had about control, about keeping myself distant, shattered the second you looked at me. There was no escape from the way you made me feel. Every heartbeat, every breath was a reminder of how much you had changed me in an instant.